Hey y'all, so this is a call, and what I'm going to talk about in this video is how to bring balance to the earth element. And this is also a video that is good for the those of you who are either a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I'm not going to go too much into the astrology aspect here, just to know that when we're talking about the earth element, as it relates to the body, what we're talking about is the structures of the body: hair, nails, skin, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, bones, etc., teeth, solid things, right? So the material, the physical. And so as an energetic expression for Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, it has to do with, and again, these are, I should say the earth element is a receptive sign, meaning it is a negative polarity, or quote unquote feminine. I don't like that term, but what I like to think about is magnetism. So it's magnetizing the material world towards them. So the material world is the matrix, right? It's man's creations, but it's also the physical world, right? The natural world, which is much more, anyway, it's easier to connect to, and it's less of an illusion, right? So we're talking about the natural world, and we're talking about man's creation is also part of the matrix or the illusion. So this practice I'm going to teach you towards the end of this video is about that. The thing I want to mention really quickly as well is that down below the video, there's a link to a progression. It's a sexual transmutation progression. And the sexual transmutation progression is utilizing all the elements. It's very inexpensive. It's a very inexpensive video. And so this is something you can do every single day if you're really, really wanting to experience a powerful transformation in all the elements in the body, but also to learn about how sexual transmutation can be a very life-altering experience, particularly for men, is we're learning to change raw sexual energy into higher awareness states. And this is what this video does. So you can go ahead, if you're interested in that video, you can click the link below. It's very inexpensive. I think it's 20 bucks, 25 bucks, something like that. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get into this video. So this video for the earth element, folks, some of the ways you can tell that earth element is out of balance, other than being kind of hypnotized by the material plane, being overly fixated on material things, too much desire for material things, too much desire for sensuality, things like that. Some of the ways that you can kind of tell is that, so for instance, excess body composition. If you're overweight, that would be kind of considered like, for instance, a version of excess earth, right? So in the same way, if you are overly emaciated, you have thinning bones, thinning hair, thinning nails, etc., that would be an example of lack of grounding, right? So too much mobility. So air signs, for instance, if you're an air sign, and this might be something where you might have a deficiency of earth if you don't have a lot of earth in your chart, right? So again, these kinds of practices are really good for pretty much anyone who's experiencing either excess or a deficiency of these elements. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the earth element, as it's expressed through Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, has a lot of really, really beautiful positive attributes. And one of those is stability. It's a very stable, slow, intentional kind of energy. Not always slow, and like Virgo can be kind of intense sometimes, right? So but the point is that there is a stability there, right? There's a stability and ability to organize, and so the benefits of some of the things that help balance earth signs are things like structure. So having a structure, there's a statement about this, which is if you have some ideal you want to manifest into the physical world, you need a structure through which to manifest it. So it's a bit like writing a business plan. So if I have some idea of a business, it's helpful to write a business plan, which it gives me then a structure, which then I can kind of follow to bring something out into the material world. So these are, like I said, these are things that earth signs are really benefit from when they work on, routine, etc., those kinds of things. Again, developing healthy routines, healthy patterns. What else? Let's see. Some of the other kind of positive things are, the physicality of earth signs, very physical, They're very sensual, or can be. And, also, again, it's very like tangible, grounded reality kind of folks. And so the wonderful energies in general. And also, this has been a kind of a generalization, but I notice a lot of earth signs have really good sense of smell. Supposedly the earth element rules the sense of smell. So maybe that's true. Maybe it's true for you. I don't know. Kind of judge it for yourself. So let me go ahead and go over some of the things that this particular practice I'm going to give you will help you kind of balance. So you have an excess of the earth element, you might experience a dullness or depression. You might be unmotivated or uninspired, poor digestion or difficulty with elimination, hopeless or cynical, overeating, excess weight, as I mentioned before, thicker skin and fingernails, losing interest in life, stubborn, despondent, inertia is another way I kind of say that. The inability to perceive the world clearly. So those are if there might be an excess of the earth element, right? So you're hypnotized by the material world. So now if you have a deficiency of the earth element, that might be, in this particular case, unstable, ungrounded, insecure, restless, anxious, emaciated, flighty, cold, heavy, unable to manage stress, jittery, spacey, weakness of body structures, so like thinning of the bones or the hair, or the nails, inability to face challenges and a lack of depth, struggling to stay in relationships for long periods, excess weight gain, and once again, unreliable and undependable. All right, so those are kind of some of the things that this particular process, this particular exercise I'm going to give you might be helpful. So let's see if there's anything else I want to mention. No, I think I want to go ahead and, so this breath practice is inhale nose, exhale nose, generically. Now, why does inhale nose, exhale nose, why does that help balance the earth element? The reason this helps balance the earth element has to do with the fact that when you inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose, it brings a sharpness to your awareness center, the ajna, right? This is the kind of the seat of the ego, or the seat of the personality, right? It's the seat of our sort of perceptual lens. So inhaling nose, exhaling nose is really good because it will allow you to center. When you center your awareness, what ends up happening is you can see where your fixations are, right? You can see where I'm overly fixated on the material things or not, whatever it may be, it gives you that centeredness. And also another part of this practice is, the first step of this practice is going to be breath of fire. Breath of fire is really great because what breath of fire does is you're working your navel point. So it does two things simultaneously. As you're feeling the air moving in and out of the sinuses, the nostrils, not only are you centering your awareness here, but you're also bringing your awareness to your body's center of gravity, which is actually 2 fingers down below the navel, your navel point area. So that's what breath of fire will do. It will help you center almost your entirety, right? So it's a very powerful practice. Another thing we're going to be doing is breath retention. So I'm going to have you inhale, retain in, exhale, retain out. When you retain in and retain out, what does it do? It gives you stillness. When you're still, when you have stillness rather, you can see the mind in its movements. You can see the emotions in their movements. And it helps you once again center in the form. If your diaphragm is doing this, your mind is doing this, right? So when your diaphragm is still, the mind is still. So it's a beautiful thing. So when we get into the breath retentions, just notice the stillness, notice the peace that you feel. Finally, after we do the breath of fire and the breath retentions, we're going to go into segmented breathing. The segmented breathing is, it's to help you relax the structure. The structure in this particular case is the physical body. As we're inhaling in these little sniffs, this is what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be inhaling in as many little sniffs as you can, again, through the nose. You're inhaling, 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 inhaling until you're completely full of air. All these little sniffs. I usually get 15 to 20 little sniffs. And also, we're stacking our spine. As you inhale, you're going to notice that from your sinus all the way down to your pelvic floor, it's basically a tube. And as this tube starts to fill, all the structures around this tube, all the connective tissues and the musculature and the bones around this tube want to, I guess the bones aren't relaxing, but anyway, everything wants to relax around the tube in order to accommodate air, because the air is the most important thing, right? The air is the most important thing. You can go, I think it's like 5 or 6 days without water. You can go a very long time without food. You go about 5 minutes without air. So incredibly important for life and sustaining life. And so hence, the whole body will really posturally relax in order to accommodate more and more air so you can fill up. So once you get completely full of air, then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you contract your pelvic floor. It's called Mula Bandha or root lock. So you contract your anus, your perineum, your genitals, and gently pull in your belt line. You're going to feel a pressure upward, which will then allow you to relax up inside the sinuses even more. So you can relax along the roof of the mouth. The front, the middle, and the rear part of the roof of the mouth, allowing the eyes to gently roll up, right? So again, relaxing the space inside the head, which is also part of the earth element, right? Everything solid is part of the earth element. This practice is about bringing balance to all that. And I think that's all I want to mention. And when you're ready to exhale, you're going to relax the contraction, exhale all that air out, and then simply repeat. Sniffs in, exhale out. Now let me go ahead and give you the durations and the number of repetitions. We're not going to necessarily do the durations and the number of repetitions in this video, but what I suggest when you're doing this on your own is that you do the breath of fire, or you can also do bellows breath, by the way. Bellows breath is just rapidly inhaling in and out of the nose. It's purely diaphragmic. So as your diaphragm is moving, you're also inhaling. It's just quick sniffs in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Very different than breath of fire. Breath of fire is when you pull in the belt line, air goes out. When you relax the belt line, air comes in. So it's, let me go ahead and show you. So breath of fire is slightly different, but both of them serve the purpose of saturating with oxygen so that you can then retain the breath longer and retain the breath out longer. So when you're doing this on your own, you can do breath of fire as long as you want. I do suggest a minimum of a minute, which we're going to do in this video. We're going to do a minute. You can do it. I've done breath of fire up to 15 minutes. I don't necessarily recommend that, but I've done it. So you can do a very long time. After the breath of fire is done, then the segmented breathing, I suggest going through at least 3 times, which we're going to do in this video. And you can do it up to, again, as many times as you wish, 7, 8, 9 times. Again, as much as you need, as much as you wish. You don't want to force anything. This is about bringing stillness, balance, and peace. So more is not necessarily better. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get into the practice. So first thing you want to do is we're going to do the mudra for the earth element. That is thumb connects to ring finger. Go ahead and relax. You can sit cross-legged, sit in a chair, whatever's comfortable. You just want an upright spine. All right, so again, you have the mudra, thumb, ring finger. All right, so first thing we're going to do is breath of fire. So I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. Exhale there out. Again, you can do a bellows breath if breath of fire is too difficult. Inhale a half breath. And we'll begin bellows breath or breath of fire. Again, belt line goes in, air goes out. 1 minute. About 15 seconds. Let's go ahead and inhale, deep breath, retain that breath. Relaxing everything, relax your pelvic floor, your belly, your rib cage, retain that breath. When I say retain, maintain the pull as if you're continuing the inhale, even if no air comes out. or comes in rather. Notice the stillness. When you're ready, go ahead, exhale all the air out. Leave the air out. We're just going to leave the air out for 10 seconds. When you're doing this on your own, you can leave it out for as long as you're comfortable until you're naturally ready to inhale. All right, so that was about 10 seconds. Now we're going to go ahead and go into segmented breathing. Inhale in as many sniffs as you can. Again, as you're sniffing in, you're inhaling, get about 12, 15, 20, whatever number of sniffs you can get in. You're relaxing everything. So I suggest inhaling in these sniffs very slowly. My assumption now is you're full of air. So once you're full of air, nice upright spine, go ahead and pull root lock or mula bandha. Contract the anus, the perineum, the genitals, pull in the belt line. Transmuting that root energy upward is what's happening with root lock. Roof of mouth relax, eyes gently rolled up. When you're ready to exhale, go ahead and relax everything. Exhale long and slow out the nose. Once again, follow that stream of air. Feel the air moving in and out of the nose. Good, and we're going to repeat that. Sniffs in. Armpits relax, shoulders, ribs, throat, neck, jaw. I'm going to assume you're full of air. Once again, once you're full of air, root lock. Relax that roof of the mouth. Allow the eyes to gently roll up. It's kind of like you're gazing at the center of your forehead. Once again, when you're ready to exhale, go ahead and exhale. All that air out. Everything's relaxed. And one final time. Sniffs in. Once you're full of air, root lock. Relax the roof of the mouth. Front point, middle point, point all the way back towards the throat. Eyes gently rolled up as if you're gazing at the center of the forehead. Retain that as long as you're comfortable. Then go ahead and relax everything. Exhale all the air out long and slow. Once all the air is out, go ahead and leave the air out for as long as you comfortably can until you naturally need to inhale. And then I suggest meditating for at least 5 minutes after. So thank you all for watching this video.